Thank you for having me.
A pleasure. Now, what do you make of the president's statements saying the United States might be aiding and abetting the Boko Haram sect?
I fully understand the frustration of our president with regard to the Americans' refusal to assist. But I think just like the president has vowed to uphold the Constitution, the Americans also believe that they have to adhere to their own rules. And I think it's quite important that for people that want to stone the Americans, the first thing they really need to do is actually to read that law. There are two budgets involved. There is the budget of the State Department and also the budget of what they call the defense budget. And there are certain rules involved. And it's very clear, if a country has been accused or there are allegations of human rights violation, then if that country is showing an effective management of that issue, then they could waive it. They have not. The question then we need to ask ourselves is: has Nigeria done enough, to put itself in a position where any allegation will be said to be dealt with? Most of us have seen the videos, we've seen the signers on or the signs on or the name tags of the soldiers that be accused of human rights abuses. We've seen the weapons held by the individuals alleged to be involved in these allegations. So if there are serial numbers, are the military saying that they can't trace those serial numbers, or they can't actually come out to say those serial numbers were lost and the uniform or the people in those uniforms are not their staff? Those are the kind of challenges here. There are many countries that are being involved in war, and where there are allegations of impropriety or accusation of committing atrocities, they work on it quickly. It doesn't take months, it doesn't take years to deal with. The issue of these allegations have been going on for more than 2 years. And I understand that the president is just imposed. But if there is signs of an effective approach taken, not just court-martialing or court-martial of junior officers, but picking up on those individuals who have been accused by Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and other organizations, pick them up, interrogate them. The fact that you are actually doing that will be evidence that you are actually taking it serious. Until that is done, I don't think the Americans will be willing to assist. And I think it's important to highlight that whatever weapons that we are looking at getting from the Americans, it will not stop, the kind of activities that happened, or the bomb blast that happened yesterday evening. What you need for that is more of human intelligence. What you need is more of good housekeeping strategy, which is currently lacking.
Well, Mr. Oludo, thank you very much for your time. We're very grateful for your input right here on Network Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Mr. Temitope Oludo is a preventive terrorism expert speaking to us from London. Well, still to come on Network Africa. Burundi awaits results for the just concluded presidential elections, and the leader of the opposition says a unity government is the only way to avoid a brewing crisis. Details when we return. Welcome back. You're still watching Network Africa on Channels Television. Now, as Burundians continue to play the waiting game to find out who will be their next ruler, the United Nations, which did not observe the polls, is urging the East African country to shy away from violence that could further compromise its stability.
The Secretary General calls on the authorities to do all in their power to ensure security and a peaceful atmosphere during the election. He further calls on all parties to refrain from any acts of violence that could compromise the stability of Burundi and the region.
Still looking at Burundi, and in order to prevent a crisis there, the opposition leader Agathon Rwasa is calling on President Nkurunziza to hold talks with his rivals to form a unity government after a disputed election, saying it could help avert renewed conflict in the country.
some have already been waving the threat of armed struggle against the government of Burundi. And they attempted even to launch an attack 1 or 2 weeks ago. So it means that after all, the threat of war is there. But another ingredient that could lead to an escalation is when Nkurunziza and his fellows cannot accept to dialogue with their fellow citizens. War can only destroy, while the dialogue can help us overcome all these troubles of ours. So I would encourage them to challenge Nkurunziza through dialogue, but of course, Nkurunziza must also be aware that we are all Burundians, and he must not be seclusive, but be open-minded and accept to be challenged by his fellow Burundians and accept that dialogue for the sake of this nation.
Opposition leader, Mr. Agathon Rwasa. Well, still to come on Network Africa. Kenya prepares to welcome President Barack Obama tomorrow, and his itinerary shows that the focus will be on security. Details when we return.